Hi, everybody. Welcome to Fight Net Radio. Lee Hanish, Miguel Antonio Barragan, bringing you the wonderful world of boxing. Yes, the key word is boxing. If you tuned in looking for Andrew, because you're an Andrew regular, he will be back probably next week. Please continue to say your prayers and best wishes for those of you that are in the know on that situation. I don't think he's feeling all that funny yet, Miguel.
No, I don't think so. He's still kind of out of it. That's totally understandable. So, we'll give him his space. He needs his time.
Absolutely. That doesn't stop you guys from getting your updates each and every week. For those of you that didn't comment about how crappy last week's show was, thank you. All things considered, it really wasn't as horrible as I thought it would be at the end of the day. And for those of you listening to the broadcast or podcast, yeah, it's as crappy as you thought it was. But you got a show. Let's call it a win. Let's call it a win. And shout out to Sam Navajaro. As always, going out to boxingtonight.io. That's boxingtonight.io. That is our home for our page. We control this website. You can type in Fight Net Radio or Boxing Tonight. It'll get you on there. You can get back episodes. You can also get the latest fight schedule. We keep it up to date month by month. And it looks like next weekend we've got nothing but crap. And it's not even worth discussing for next weekend. Showtime card. Jeez.
Well, Josh Taylor's fighting. I mean, that's kind of important. It's not
Josh Taylor.
It's
all
not,
right, but it's Jack Cantrell. I mean, Catterall, Cantwell, Catterall, whatever. Let's be perfectly honest, since we'll start here. This should be a 3-round fight. This is him just pulling a payday in Glasgow.
Yes, it's one of those like stay busy type fights. So yeah, we don't expect too much from Catterall.
All
right.
I said Cantwell. That's a real estate thing, and it's kind of funny. And shout out to Josh Cantwell. All right. With that said, we do have the news for you. We rewind the clock to the last time we talked, and the last time we talked was on a Tuesday, as I recall. So let's pick up where we left off. Jacob's manager said Danny got robbed. What a shocker. Can't reward bad judging. Deserves another big shot. All right. Now, we've talked about this fight. We all watched this fight. He didn't get robbed. He broke his hand, or I don't even know what this is the fight with the one arm, right? This is the one arm fight, if I'm recalling correctly.
It seemed like he just basically gave up the latter half. Something happened. He hasn't disclosed anything as far as anything major, but he's gonna, of course, he stormed out of the ring immediately after the decision was made. So clearly he wasn't too content with that. So I mean, whatever. It's
so like he's being a bitch.
Jacob, he's being a little bit of a bitch. Yeah,
a little bit. Sounds like a lot of a bitch. I mean, I'd want my manager to do that for. I mean, to be perfectly honest, I'd want my manager to say it. But straight up, Danny got robbed. Danny didn't get robbed. I don't know what fight they were at.
No,
I don't think there's. Wait,
that
this
latter
is the
half.
best line. I don't think there's anyone on the planet who could be right. Anyone on the planet. Anyone on the planet. I read the news stories. That's kind of my job here, right? And look for the funny haha, and then I go on a scooter ride. By the way, shout out to my scooter behind me. The girl's a beast. Yeah, she's in the shot. Wait,
nice. Where was it at? Oh, there it is. Oh,
there
hell
is.
yeah.
Yeah. We just went out before the show. I looked at all the stories, and guess what? You guys get an Oscar appearance today and a Bob appearance today. So I'm very excited for all of you. I didn't get killed by any cars. My adrenaline's right. I've had coffee. I've got steaks coming from my new grill flat top. So I'm in a good spot. I'm in a good space.
All right. You didn't hurt yourself, did you?
No. Not on this round.
Not this
time. Yesterday, okay. It's a better story than this guy getting robbed. Yesterday on the scooter, I got hit nearly 3 times coming back up I do 2 scoots. It takes 4 hours to charge the darn thing. So I was coming up on the afternoon one, got hit almost 3 times. And one guy literally slowed down, came around me, then cut in front of me, then rolled down his window to tell me it was on me to watch him.
Oh, geez.
At which point, I think I had just had enough for one day. So
understandable. You should carry some like eggs with you so you can just egg the
it's
shit
not
out of
even
this
that.
car.
It was a dude who was doing the whole thing. And so here's the truth. I'm going to show off my therapy sessions here, right?
Please do so.
He did what he did because of fear, right? Because he almost hurt someone, right? So his automatic reaction was to be bigger and louder than me. Now, you and I both know that's a huge mistake with me. Like, don't go full bully on a dude who beats up bullies for fun. And so I literally had to stand there in the street staring at him as this dude's yelling at me, thinking, I need to put his head through the steering wheel, legit. On the same day before I go out on this ride, I don't know if it happened, it was before, I gave myself a concussion on a cabinet in Killian's office. I came in to set him up with the new computer. I turned around and caught a cabinet right here, right? I could actually hear the skin tear, and it bled everywhere, but full on stars put me on the ground like I got hit by a heavyweight punch.
Yeah.
And for the last couple of days, I've been having slight tremors.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Electrical signal, completely. Complete electrical signal. On top of all that, it just happened to be the day where I realized that the compound here, I'm like I'm watching my neighbor use the washer and dryer that I pay the power for. And today was just the day where I'm like, you know what? Fuck everyone.
Yeah.
I've had enough. And then somebody I love greatly, who you've met, dropped another piece of unreal news on me. And to say that, no, it wasn't anything like that, but it was just one of those, yeah. I made a keto chili cheese dog and then ate, my favorite, Coke Zero, drink of champions, and literally crawled into bed at 8 o'clock and had to meditate myself into a full reset of the world is against me today.
Just
the world,
just reset. Just
the world is just
inhale.
I woke up, everything's better.
All right.
You know what? My daughter got accepted to BYU. I mean, I'm in a,
oh shit.
Yeah, looks like I'm going to Vegas. Oh my.
Hell yeah. Coming to Vegas here.
Well, I know at least 2 people there. 3. I'm up to 3 people in Vegas now. It's very exciting. No,
you're getting there. You're building your network.
I'm building my, it's more than I know here in San Diego, but the scooting is a little different. I'm thinking like Las Vegas. I think I can live up in like Las Vegas.
Oh, I'm sure you can. That place is beautiful.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm certainly not going out by you or
North Las Vegas.
Well,
not too
even
bad.
Worse, but there's where Will is, which is at the very end of Las Vegas in those track houses in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
I mean,
don't go way over there.
The middle of, I need a 4-bedroom, 2-bath. And it's a whole thing. I'm going to be there at least for, she's going after a bigger degree. So I'm there for at least a good 6 years.
Ooh, all right.
Yeah.
Long term.
Yeah. All right. Now you're all caught up. Wow. I haven't done a catch up with the group. Yeah.
Hi,
everyone. I'm
nice.
Still in therapy, and trust me, nobody needlessly died. I explained my situation. I worked through all my trauma successfully, and I may have just thrown a couple of sodas across my compound last night. In fact, I found one on the roof of the carport. I'm like, wow, good arm. So back to Jacobs. Is there any solution for this guy at all from your perspective?
Well, as far as I recall, I believe he went back with his original trainer, I think, for this fight. They had patched things up. I forgot his name. Rozier, I think was the last name. I can't, right off the top of my head, I can't remember. But anyway, yeah, he went back to his old trainer thinking he can kind of, mend the fences and, recapture whatever they had prior to that. And it didn't work out for whatever reason. It just seems like the latter half from the 6th and on. I mean, I would have been okay with the draw, honestly. I wouldn't have been too bad with the draw. But I mean, come on, now we're talking about, this fight being over there in the UK. So understandably so, Jacobs had to do probably a little bit more than he normally does than to get the decision, and it just didn't work out for him. But either it was his hand or it's just it looked so. Ryder has basically a Canelo frame. He's like 5'9". He has that same build, maybe a little bit thicker, even a little bit wider, and he's a powerful guy, although he doesn't really like punch very hard. He's a pretty powerful guy. So anytime they would get in close, it looked like Jacobs didn't want anything to do with the inside. He was doing a lot of clinching, and it was basically pretty simple for Ryder. He just, close the distance, and then every time he did that, he had like Jacobs up against the ropes or in the corner or something, and Jacobs immediately clinched. You're not going to win, a fight that way. Even if he started early, which he did, because he did bank some rounds early, it was just not enough to continue that. His momentum basically died every single time he was Ryder initiated, or Ryder got close, I should say, and then he initiated the clinch then. But I would have been okay with the draw. But I mean, you know what? After me and my pops were watching, actually, because it was a morning morning fight, and I was at work, of course, but I work in my house, I work in my room, so I'm watching it while I'm working. And my dad periodically comes into the room, like, "Did you see that round? You see it? They gave it to Ryder, didn't they?" It's like, "Yes, Dad, they're gonna give it to Ryder." And sure enough, at the very end, we're like, "We fucking knew it." Jacob didn't do enough, but I mean, it's his own fucking fault. I'm sure he's gonna want a rematch, but it's his own fault. That latter half was just of the fight was all Ryder's.
Well, based on our news stories today, the next move by Ryder would be to be injured multiple times and never give this guy a rematch and just be.
Yes.
This seems to be the move of everyone on the planet in boxing this week. You either call out people you know you're never going to get. And if I was naming this episode early, it would be, hey, just call out anyone. King Kong, Mike Tyson, Jake Paul, Francis Ngannou.
Jake Paul, hell yeah, why not? Might as well.
Take the payday.
Yeah.
Moving forward. Katie Taylor focused on Serrano, then wants McCaskill and Cameron joining us live. Yeah, y'all knew it was going to happen. Clarissa Shields joining us on the Newsmaker line. Hey.
Welcome, Black Clarissa. We miss you.
Did you say welcome, Black?
Clarissa? Yes, I did say that. Welcome, Black.
Thank God you're Hispanic. The hate mail that would come in.
I can imagine.
Says the guy who's about to do an Oscar De La Hoya impression. Clarissa, how do you feel about her not naming you at all in the discussion? Sad.
Hater. She's gonna hate you. It's just like, oh, they don't want any of me. They don't want any of me.
She's hotter than you, Clarissa. Hey. Just thought I'd say it out loud for the room. Katie Taylor's a tight little thing for a fighter. She doesn't have that fighter. I mean, when we put her on the ranking list, it's so crappy that, wow, this is way therapy day. Like, I'm already feeling bad that I'm talking about how a female fighter looks. Wow. Truth be told, she'd still make more. Playboy doesn't exist. Is there Penthouse? What could she do?
Hustler's still around, isn't it?
There you go. Yeah. But I think that's full lippage spread and all kinds of
shit. Damn.
Yeah, it's pretty hardcore.
It's been a minute. I don't know. I mean,
well, we have the internet now.
Right? Exactly. Now we're desensitized to that shit, so I'm pretty sure.
Well, maybe she go to Hulu, and maybe she should do a Tom and Pammy type video with Hulu, and maybe she can get Sebastian Stan in it.
Are you listening, Katie? Just so you know.
Just putting it out there. But well, congratulations that you want to clean up your division and that you're going to name everybody, but.
Except Clarissa. Always on the outside. She's going to be, you know what? She's going to be the new Crawford. She's going to be the female Crawford. Be left on the outside, left out, basically looking in through the window saying like, hey guys, include me, please.
What does she make a fight? 20 grand? I mean, she can't be making any money. I feel like MMA female fighters make more than female boxers.
I think they do. I mean, there's definitely a lot more action. There's plenty of more women that are participating in mixed martial arts than there are boxing. At least that's how it seems as far as televised goes.
Perceptionally speaking. And then weirdly, because I've seen Holly and the other girls do it, apparently the bare knuckle people pay insane money.
Yes. For chicks too. Dude, Clarissa would kill it there. She would so freaking kill it there.
Plus, she's butt ugly. There's not much.
Oh,
now we're back to
low
normal.
Blow, and we're back.
Domestic violence charges dropped against Juan Manuel Lopez without prejudice. So apparently, it's all a misunderstanding. Boy, this sounds like an abuse story. Knowing someone who has abuse, I hate it when I read something that completely sounds like an abuse story. I'm not saying.
Well, no negatives. All right.
Yeah, I like doing them. I'm not saying that it was a misunderstanding, which is what I'm pleased. It was a misunderstanding. Andrea's family for all the process we have gone through, blah, blah, blah. Andrea is a great woman. I want to ask the general, how much do you have to pay off? I mean, seriously. I mean, he's not a big tier fighter, but still.
Not anymore. I'm sure he's got some money in the bank and emptied it out just now. This
smells like shit. I mean, I'm just saying because I've been around victim assault cases and you know how much I don't let shit like this go on this show. I'm like a dog with a bone when I see anything like this. Every time it says, dismissed without prejudice in a third world shithole, Puerto Rico.
Right.
Caguas.
There you go.
Translated shithole.
Yeah.
You heard it. That should be the title of the show. All right, that made me laugh. I don't. I realize that half my jokes are just for me when Andrew's not around. I think Andrew might have laughed at that one. Goosen opens up about training Ryan Garcia and says, at his best, nobody will ever beat him. I feel like there should be a ... Now, I got to get him into the gym and I got to get him training. I got to get him off of women. I got to get him off of his medications.
Yeah. Off of TikTok, off of Instagram.
This is really what it feels like. Joe Goosen, we've suspected this all along, right? The kid's got hand speed. He's got power. He is gifted beyond end, but he's got so many distractions.
Yeah, it's really bad when the fact, I mean, when he signed with De La Hoya, I thought, okay, De La Hoya, he kind of knows how to make stars, right? It's like he can lead this guy in the right direction. And I mean, if it's not one thing, it's another. It just seems like his mind is just everywhere else, especially. And then he just was it last year he had a kid, right? I want to say he had a kid. It's like, man, can you have any more fucking distractions? Can you at least get his career is taken off, right? I mean, like his popularity is already taken off, but his career is still in the process of taking off, and then he has a fucking kid. So I don't know about that, but nonetheless, yes, it just kind of feels like he's stretching himself out too thin.
I also think he's a complete piece of shit. I don't know why I get that vibe. I've watched the videos. I mean, perceptionally, for his fake followers, which is well documented on Fight Net Radio.
Yes, all of them, every single one of them,
every single one from Brazil and Colombia. My favorite thing, knowing what I know about computers. They're number one in Brazil. Cool.
Sure.
That costs $20. I think this kid's gonna get into deep water and get in trouble. This is the tragedy of tragedies in boxing, of wasted talent. He is like Oscar Light. That's really what he is. He's Oscar Light.
He's Oscar Light without the accomplishments.
Yeah, right. And he thinks he's Oscars. He got the money out of Oscar, held everyone ransom. This has great.
He thinks he's already Oscar, apparently. He's like, well, I don't have to prove myself to anybody.
No, you don't. In boxing, you just have to yell the loudest, which we'll see with our next stories here. Starting with Thurman on facing Crawford. Where's my contract? I got my business, write it up. Okay, so he fought a nobody, which we all were supposed to believe that he fought a somebody, right? The last somebody,
that's what PBC will lead you to believe.
The last somebody he fought was a guy named Manny Pacquiao, who ran into Ugas. So Manny was clearly at the end of the run, which leads me to believe about Thurman. Bro, Ugas beat Pacquiao. I honestly think Thurman could beat Ugas. I do. I think that's actually a very close fight, right? But
yeah, I can see that. Yeah,
it's there. But now he's going on I don't see that I'm the defeated fighter. I don't feel like this. I was defeated by Manny. Blah, blah, blah. It was a split decision at the end of the day. Blah, 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 blah. I fucked up, bro. I love it when people say that. I fucked up, bro. Fucked up in the Pacquiao fight.
Majorly.
It happens to human beings. We be fucking up since 2019. This is the title of the show.
It wasn't my best year.
Holy Jesus. I always look through the show where the title of the show is. This show is I fucked up, bro. I fucked up. It happens to every human being. This is the title right here. We be fucking up since 2019.
Oh, geez.
Just wasn't my year. God bless him. All right, so Captain Delusional wants to fight the best guy on the planet who definitely has something to prove. And clearly this is what the PBC is setting up. How quick does Crawford go through this guy?
I mean, I don't know if he'll get through him any faster. Well, maybe a little bit faster than he did with Porter. What was it? I think 11 rounds, 10 or 11 rounds that he took Porter out. And so I'm going to go 9-ish. Especially if he goes another, however many months without fighting again, because, this is his first fight back in over 2 years. So Thurman, I'm talking about. So if he takes another, I mean, I don't know what fights are on the horizon for Crawford right here.
Now. Well, apparently
besides this one,
for the fight on the horizon is He's
Well,
talking
so
like
but is
mid-tier.
Crawford? Yes, I'm saying, but Crawford have anybody else? I mean, so this is, I mean, this isn't a bad idea. It kind of feels like Crawford is like slowly checking off all the PBC dudes, and the first one on that list was Porter. So now, I guess naturally the next one on that PBC list would be Thurman. So I mean, might as well. I don't see that being a bad fight. I don't see it going more than maybe 9 rounds, and Crawford definitely take that one.
All right. Jermell Charlo on Castano injury. That's a
It's like it's an Enye. It says Castaño, but
Castano. Does it have an Enye? Are we just being lazy with this?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not even sure. Is there even like a translation on the keyboard?
Nah, not really. But I'll buy off that there's probably an Enye on Castano.
Yeah.
So 2 times in a row, they done tried to pull the same stunt. I ain't buying it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he beat you and he's running from you. What are you going to do about it? Call him out in the press? I mean, that's what this is. This is a call out. They've done it 2 times in a row. They pulled the same stunt. Yeah, no, I ain't buying it. You shouldn't. It's 2 times in a row. I completely agree with you. But it doesn't help you fix the situation. Your brother's a piece of shit and you lost to a second-tiered fighter. The era of the Charlos is over.
Or coming to an end very, very soon. They still got the belts, so technically they're still kind of there, but how much longer? I don't know.
Yeah, no doubt. I'm just watching these 2 guys melt down. He can't get a Castaño in the ring.
PBC in general melting down. These dudes going down. Porter recently losing right to Crawford. I mean, they're gonna try to do this Pacquiao and or not Pacquiao. I'm sorry, Spence and Ugas. But I mean, it's just like PBC is just slowly, feels like it's slowly imploding. And then I'm sure we'll get to this story later on with Canelo not going in that direction. So yeah, it seems like PBC is kind of I don't know, drowning at the moment.
There you go. Moving forward, Brian Castano has a comeback. Well, he doesn't really have a comeback. TGB, taking care of business, or whatever the hell the name of that company is that you guys see, the big giant green TGB in lime green, and we don't know really who they are, but who cares? TGB Promotion was given 24 hours to show cause to avoid an ordered mandatory defense. I don't think that the mandatory challenger winds up being Charlo. I think that's I think you want this because they're talking about Tim Tszyu. They're talking about.
Oh yes, dude. Right? Oh, that would be so good. I mean, I don't know if he's injured, right? Talking about Castaño, so it would be Tszyu and Charlo. Holy hell! Oh my gosh, that'd be. I mean, I don't think the Charlos will do it, of course, as long as Master Heyman says no, don't go that direction. They're not going to do it. But
too. You know how it feels about giving whiteys a chance.
Yeah, on top of that. But holy crap, if only, I mean, this is like a prayer to the boxing gods, and Tim Tszyu has come forward and said, hey, you know what, I'll do it. Let's get this to crack-a-like. And so I'm pretty sure he's more than willing, at least that's how it appears. Charlo, not so much, but holy hell, what a scrap that would be. That would be a good scrap, by the way.
Tim actually strikes me a lot like his dad. He just doesn't care. Just put me in the ring.
Yeah.
I'll take care of it. Mm-hmm. He's definitely a lot like his dad on the whole, just whoever's next. I don't care. Are we going to LA? Cool. Let's go to LA. I'll beat him up there. I don't care.
Yeah, exactly.
And Castaño is the one sitting in the middle of this, holding the WBO for ransom, which is amazing in this whole thing.
That's common, right? They have a belt, so they're going to hold it for ransom. It's like, if you want it, it's the same thing that what's his name? Plant did with Canelo. It's like, you want this belt, you want to unify it, right? It's right here. Come and get it. Sign the contract. Pay me what I got to pay.
I kind of dig it. I mean, when you're starting to talk about lineal champs who have multiple belts, right? I'm kind of okay with the guy in charge trying to take the best money deal and the best possible win to stretch it out. Especially, we're never going to. This is the era of Brian Castaño right now, and it's because of the Charlo thing. It may be Tim Tszyu, but he's not going to define himself. This isn't a Cambosos, I'm going to pull another miracle victory out of my ass moment. That's just not what's happening here. I don't think this guy is legit. I think he's the right fit. You get it from Tim.
I kind of feel like he was at the right place at the right time, beating Teixeira. I forgot who he took the belt off of.
Yeah.
But after Teixeira got the belt and then he took it off of Teixeira, that kind of was like, Castaño just kind of was in the right place at the right time there. Shit.
There you go. Moving forward, let's talk about Spence Ugas undercard. Which will be paying $550 on Showtime pay-per-view. I don't know what it's going to be, but let's just assume that it's at least.
It wouldn't surprise me if it's that.
At least $100. At least they're gonna want at least $100.
Yeah.
Okay, so what are you giving us on the undercard? Gervonta Davis might happen. Has confirmed that here's a blast from the past PBC style. Isaac Cruz, Yurkiokis Gamboa. First of all, I didn't even know Gamboa was still in boxing.
Yeah.
That one's shocking. Isaac Cruz is that's your co-main.
I don't know. When was the last time Yuriokis was a friggin' main event or co-main event, for Christ's sakes?
He's been a he's been.
Well, I guess he's been the B-side, right? I guess that
forever.
Man, I mean, I get it. There's a recognizable name on the undercard, right? Cruz is still fresh on everybody's mind because of his performance against Davis, so it makes sense, right? I kind of understand what PBC is doing here, but I mean, Gamboa, really? Shit, they can't put him in there with another top lightweight. I mean, he's ready for them. Just like why Gamboa? What is he going to prove with that?
I have no clue. And the rest of the card from here is just kind of a slide downhill. I mean, they're trying to sell this Gamboa thing like we're actually, these two fights should be enough to carry it, but they're right? We're basically getting Gervonta Davis leftovers to see who gets another shot at Gervonta Davis again and another. So you put them in a high profile on the under. Did you see what the PBC did on this? This is a mind boggler. So the Super Bowl was 70, 50 or 60,000, whatever it was, right? The PBC put out a press release that Ugas Pacquiao at AT&T sold more tickets.
Oh, I think, yes, I did hear about that. Yeah.
Okay, so I saw this meme and I literally wanted to write back, well, yeah, there's a difference between a $50 seat and a $5,000 cheap seat.
Yes.
So who had the higher gate?
There we go. That's the the numbers, the money, the moolah.
Oh my God.
Who sold the most?
What could they have made on that day? SoFi made killer crazy money. Moving forward, Lomachenko's manager on Kambosos fight. Hey, I have a good feeling.
Ooh, that feels good.
Well, joining us on the
I
show
feel...
is Top Rank Bob to discuss this whole situation. Joining the Newsmaker Live, Top Rank Bob. Good evening, morning. I don't know.
Welcome back, Bob.
Thank you. Let's talk about Lomachenko. First of all, don't sleep on this guy. He may have just turned 50, but he is still the star of this division and the man to beat. Bob, he lost the kind of the big fight that caused this situation where Kambosos is taking the he got robbed. Well, you actually backed both guys in the right. I did. Very astute of you to point that out. So shut your fucking mouth and listen to me. This fight, I think, is going to happen. I mean, if you look at what his manager says, those crazy fuckers over at the MTK, gotta love them. Lou DiBella, MTK. I mean, I just love working with them. They just keep bringing in bodies for me to throw into rings. It's fucking great. Human trafficking is my favorite thing. Sorry, I had a flash of entitling the show. Human trafficking is my favorite thing.
Interesting title.
Woo! Little Ric Flair for everybody. All right, let's talk about Lomachenko. Everybody this week is just making random call outs. There are no contracts in place. I mean, the only concrete news which is coming up is the next story with Tyson Fury and the belt that he gets when he beats up Dillian White, which is my favorite story of the week, which you already sent us a picture of. The plantation belt, or they call it the union. They called it the union belt,
yeah,
but I'm jumping it.
Yes, we'll get to that shortly.
Please just call it the plantation belt. Just cut to the chase. I mean, it's just so gross and white. All right. I hate it when he does stuff like that. Okay, let's talk about Lomachenko. Lomachenko needs a big profile fight to get back on his feet. I think he did just turn 40 something. Like, he's old, right? He started.
Is he already? Shit.
Yeah, he just had another birthday. For where he is in his career and the number of fights he's had, it's further, right?
Yeah.
He's stepped up. He's done well. Yeah, he has 2 losses on his record. Yeah, the last one was rather a significant one, and the first one was arguable. Because styles make fight, especially with Lomachenko. If you can figure out what he's doing, you've got a pretty good shot against him, because he's wired to get. Here's what I believe about Lomachenko. I believe he's wired together. He's like a Mike Tyson. He's going to fight this one style. And if you can get around this one style, you'll do just fine. He doesn't rethink it in the ring. He doesn't make changes. He just fights his game all the way into the ground.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like there's adjustments. I mean, he implements his game plan, and because he basically has won damn near every single one of his fights, there's never really been an answer up until his fight with Lopez most recently. But even then, and of course you can blame it on the shoulder as well. But I mean, nonetheless, he still fought the same fight the entire fight, and basically didn't make any adjustments. It wasn't until like the latter half where he started coming on a little bit, but it was him doing more of the same thing that he was already doing that wasn't working earlier in the fight. But yeah, I mean, no shame, right? Losing to Lopez. I mean, it sucks that he lost his titles there, but I mean, here we are, right? Here we are with him being, as last I remember, it was him, Loma, and Haney, like were neck to neck, with potentially winning the Camboso sweepstakes, and it sounds like Lomachenko is in the lead now. So that sounds like a juicy fight. I'm not sure which one I would prefer, but nonetheless, it looks like Lomachenko. And I feel like this is right, because we all heard all the smack talk between him and Loma and Lopez. I mean, in regards to a rematch with Lopez not wanting to give him a rematch. Well, this is what the fuck you get, Lopez. Now you lost your title, and now Cambosos has the title, and Cambosos are more than willing to give Lomachenko a title shot. So I feel like this is kind of deserved. Loma didn't really have to go through those two fights with Nakatani and I forgot the dude's name, but having to go through those two fights, two of Lopez's previous opponents, and then earn himself a title shot against Cambosos. I didn't feel he really needed to do that, but nonetheless he did it, and now he's the lead. He's got the lead as far as potentially fighting Cambosos. So yeah, I feel like this is more deserved. He didn't get the rematch with Lopez. He can get the first crack at Cambosos.
Moving forward to the biggest story of the week that blew up our text, made Andrew crazy, made me laugh my ass off. The shittiest of the WBC belts has been premiered. The Plantation Union. Why don't we just put like the union flag on it? I mean, let's just go all the way. Is it in the flags of the world around it?
You know what, dude? When you said the plantation, those side plates kind of look like little con balls, don't they? Am I tripping? The little flower in the center.
Actually, they look very much like KKK, like the KKK logos too.
Very bad taste. Poor taste.
God bless them. All right. A WBC spokesman stated, whatever that means, the unique belt will be presented as a special trophy to the winner of the highly anticipated, by who? Dillian?
Yeah, Dillian, exactly.
And I'm not even sure he signed the fight yet, but all right. Between WBC heavyweight champion Tyson Fury and WBC interim heavyweight champion Dillian White, the union belt extols.
Whoa, I don't even know what that word means. What does that mean? We have to look it up because I don't know what the fuck that shit means.
Extol. Let's see where they went with this. Please define extol.
Extols, yes. Add this to my vocabulary. I'm writing it down.
Sure. Extol. Praise enthusiastically.
Okay. All right.
Okay. All right. I'm with you. All right. Let's keep going with this.
Yeah.
We need a dictionary for this week's press release.
Apparently.
The union belt praises highly the special elements to celebrate and commemorate the United Kingdom through boxing. What is united about this other than the flag? I get it. It's the Union Jack, right? It's the flag. I get what they're doing, but bro,
is it just because both fighters are English? That's
it. Yeah. A few weeks ago, Fury's co-promoter Frank Warren of Queensberry Promotions stamped down a record purse bid of $41 million. Laughed everyone in boxing. Fury will receive the lion's share of the 80-20 split. White has been out of the ring since March 2021 when he stopped Alexander Povetkin in their rematch. He has then scheduled to fight in fall against Otto Wallin, but later withdrew with a shoulder injury. Right. Sure. Fury saw action back in October when he knocked out Deontay Wilder. Right. That's it. That's your press release. They made another shitty belt. Do you think it's leather, or did they go with the plastic thing again? Down and dirty cheap.
Good question. I'm gonna have to go with plastic on this one. I mean, I'm sure that the regular WBC belts are going to be carried around, so they're going to have to be a little bit more durable. So they're going to have to be leather. This one's just going to be hanging on someone's closet. So I'm pretty sure it's just going to be some piece of shit plastic belt.
Well, it's smaller too, right? It looks like one of
Oh, is
those
it?
smaller WBC. I can't tell from the photo, but it looks like one of those smaller WBC belts.
Like the kid sizes and shit.
Yeah, they do have kid sizes. Like if you're the WBC Far East
Continental
champion,
something.
well, yeah, the Continental belt is smaller. The biggest belt is the main WBC lineal belt.
Mm.
Oh, God bless them. What a bunch of
Jeez.
shitheads. Moving forward, Team Zoo. If Castano is out, we will happily step in and take Charlo. Here's your dream.
I'm
I was
sure you
saving
would.
Said Zoo. Let's see. So you've heard the news that Brian Castano withdrew from his rematch with Charlo with a bicep injury. The big question that everyone is asking is, where does that leave our planned co-event card for Tim, right? We have said all along, we won't sit and wait. We will stay busy. The titles will come in due course. And so we will work our way through and keep you all posted. So he's actually willing to move up and take the Charlo spot. There's no way Charlo takes this fight. There's no way.
I doubt it. I mean, like if he was already trained to be on the undercard, right, the co-main event. So it's not like I suspect if Charlo, I mean, I'm sorry, if Sue wasn't already on the card and he kind of like wasn't training. I mean, the way they normally train, right? They're always in the gym anyway. But when they go into fight camp, it's like they up the level of training. If he wasn't already in a fight camp, getting ready for the co-main event, I suspect that Charlo would take it just because he feels like Sue won't be as prepared physically. But the fact that he was already in camp, scheduled to be on the undercard, the co-main event, if I'm not mistaken. I think that once Charlo realized that, he was like, nah, let's not do that. Let's just fucking wait.
Yeah,
until
can you get
Castaño's
me
healing.
like anyone who's like a cab driver and I'll fight
Yeah,
that in
somebody
the
who
main event?
hasn't been training for the last few weeks for a fight. Oh man, that'd be so good if he takes it though. Oh shit, I would. You'll hear it first right here.
It would be the most shocking thing in boxing. That
I would give him mad props if he does that shit.
I agree. Talking about people, Gervonta Davis trainer is eager for Lomachenko showdown. This is what I mean.
What?
Just randomly call.
Why?
People. We waiting on the fight.
We
waiting on that fight.
Oh my God.
All right, let's see what the crazy man has to say, shall we? Ellie Sekbach actually got the story. Shout out to Ellie. It's very rare when Ellie gets quoted in an actual article, considering the amount of video he shoots. We waiting on that fight. You know what I'm saying? No, I don't. He's in a fight already. We waiting on that fight. Okay, so you're not fighting until you get that fight? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We waiting on that fight. By the way, I'm not. Those are his exact words.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's gonna be a chess match. It's gonna be a. Wow, he just repeats himself crazy. We waiting on that fight. You know what I'm saying? No. We waiting on that fight. Like I said, it's going to be a chess match. It's going to be a chess match. What?
They're stretching out that quote so much. It's like, just repeat it. Just repeat it.
He got sound advice. Me and Floyd, we actually talked about it. There you go. There you go. Right. Even me and Al talked about it.
Ooh. Al gave him a call?
But it's about making it at the right time. Here we go. God damn it. Everything don't happen overnight. We know that Al and top rank head Bob Arum don't get along that well, but they have done business. But it's hard making a fight with them too. Them too. That would be TWO, writer. Them too, not them also. I think he went them also. I think it's TWO. I'm just stating it for the record, not T. Just a student of the game. I have a great team. I'm just following their lead. So you're just talking shit. I don't know if Loma gonna take the chances that he takes with other fighters as he does. Now he's talking about the fight that's not happening.
Yes, hypothetically.
I think 22 is gonna be really what is going on in your head, Davis? Like, this isn't even a fight that's discussed. What fantasy, like, talk to Floyd, and because you talked to Al, and you know that Al and Bob don't get along, you're just gonna randomly start calling out like the top of the top now. And then what? Fight B level? I mean, that's
Yeah,
the
in
truth.
the meantime, that's going to be his excuse. It's going to be like, oh, I want Loma, but Loma's busy. Yes, you purposely waited until that dude was damn near signing. The fight is already signed, damn near signed with him and Cambosos, so you can go ahead and call him out. That's just a typical PBC tactic. It's like wait until they're taken and then go ahead and call them out. And what are you going to do in the meantime? Oh, I'll just fight to stay busy,
I'll
fight and
go to
fight another
welterweight and I'll
yet
fight
another big
there.
guy.
And then I'm going to go up to light heavyweight and challenge Canelo. Sure. Why not just
Jeez.
keep saying random shit?
Yeah,
Just,
keep name dropping. Why not?
yeah. And then when I'm all done, I'm going to finish at heavyweight and fight Tyson Fury. Sure you are. Sure you are, bro. Here's how it's going to play out. First, I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to do this. And by then, I'll be 200 pounds and I'll be ready to fight Tyson Fury.
Yes. I'll be waiting on that fight. I'll be waiting on him.
I talked to Floyd about it.
Yes, even hell called me that.
Oh my God, that's my favorite. There's so many great lines going on here today. You know what I'm saying? I talked to me and Floyd. It's actually
gonna
talked
be a
about
chess
it.
match.
This is actually, I keep finding better quotes to name the show. That's a good one. Moving forward, MP Promotion president reacts to Guillermo Rigondeaux. He is an embarrassment. He tried to run out of the ring.
Ooh,
did I miss the Casimira Guillermo? What? He didn't try to run out of the ring. He lost Casimiro, right?
He lost because he backpedaled the entire time, basically. And then after the fight, they told him, like, how do you expect to win a fight like that? And he's like, well, I've done it in the past. Like that's your best fucking answer for really that. How the hell did you expect to win this fight with that piece of crap type of, I mean, there's nothing new from Rigondeaux. We know this is kind of his style, so it wasn't like it was surprising, but at some point you figure, well, he's going to have to take a risk because he understands that he's behind on the scorecards. Apparently he didn't, because he totally thought that fight was his. But I'm sure that's what he means by, damn near running out of the ring because he was backpedaling the entire time.
Well, you know who we need a quote from in a crazy situation? Sean Gibbons of Knucklehead Boxing. Rigondeaux must have fallen down and hit his head where he is high as a kite. Bravo, Sean. Ooh. Bravo. Go straight to the throat. He needs to go back and watch that fight. He needs to take a look at what the fans said. He was an embarrassment. He ran like he stole something. That wasn't boxing. Boxing is what we had done in previous fights. He did some nice jobs against Laborio Solis and some other fighters, but that was an outright embarrassment that he tried to run out of the ring at times and run for his life. Bless you, Sean. Bless you. Stop the nonsense. It's over. Nobody ever wants to see that shit again. It was horrifying the first time. Showtime is looking for their money back. The fans are looking for their money back. It was the most embarrassing fight I have been involved in 35 years. So stop with the bullshit. Yay, Sean.
Ooh, yes.
That's probably the strongest Sean statement that I think we've had in quite some time. Usually they're about Manny Pacquiao in these cases, but since he's Casimiro's guy, I don't blame him. We're not running it back. We're not doing the fight. This is a far more eloquent way
Rigondeaux will do the exact same fucking thing. There's no point. He's not going to do anything different. That's just how he is. He's already if talking about Loma being 40 something. This dude is actually 40. I don't know how old he actually is, honestly, but I'm sure he's up there already in age. But man, he's not going to do anything different. He's already set in his ways. If he fights Casimiro in the exact same fashion, if he fights him in a rematch, we know that he's going to fight him in the exact same fashion. There isn't going to be any change in him whatsoever, and we're just basically going to be sitting in front of a boring ass fight yet again for no reason. Just why? Just so he can get another crack at his belts? No, fuck that.
Yeah, absolutely. Fantastic. He's back. He's back. And he hasn't been on the show in quite some time.
Oh, he's back. That's what you meant.
I actually explained to someone recently what my Oscar De La Hoya impression is. And that person goes, oh my God, how long have you been doing that? I said, if that person ever listens to the show, he'll know exactly who I'm doing. We've talked about it. So for the rest of you going, wow, that sounds like a really subversive joke. Technically it is. So that's your lead in because he's back. He's back. The Golden Boy joins the show. De La Hoya, William Zepeda beats Devin Haney right now. In a day where people just name names and name fights, we are joined by the man, the myth, the legend in TJ. Listen, bro. This guy, he beats Devin Haney right now. Okay, bro. Okay, so what? He's got a couple of fights and I haven't made any real fights for him, bro. Here's what I'm saying when I take the spoon out of my ass, bro. Okay, here's what I'm saying. Fuck your friends, fuck your girls. That's what I'm saying. Use them. Use them. I'm using them, bro. That's what I'm saying. And this guy right now beats anyone. I'm not saying it because I'm high on cocaine like a fucking nut. I'm not saying that.
You sure about that, Oscar?
Listen, bro. Where's that Andrew guy? I still need to kick his ass, bro. I'll take him out. That was the whole quote. You guys only got one fucking quote for me to work with.
That was it?
One quote from TJ. Well, probably the reporters at Boxing Scene ran out of the dog track as quick as they could. I feel honored to represent Mexico and Golden Boy on the fight. Oh, it's Zepeda. Fuck.
This is beta. Yeah.
I could care less.
Yeah. I think everybody wanted to get out of Tijuana. During the or at the end of the fight with the commentators with Grisham and Mora and fucking Mannix, they're like, yeah, we're gonna go a couple of weeks, San Diego, right, with Chocolatito and Martinez, right over there, like so many yards. We're gonna try to get over there tonight. It's like, yes. I'm trying to get out there.
Grab a street dog and get the hell out of Dodge.
Get the hell out of there.
The only thing great are the tacos and the street food, unless you're Oscar. Yeah. Listen, bro, I'm not saying that I was at the Zona Rosa. I'm not saying that. You don't have photos of that, bro. I'm not saying that I use women like toilet paper. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying nobody's really around me. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is don't sleep on this guy. Isn't that what? Right. He is so close to melting down and losing, I guess, an empire.
I mean, it was at one time. Like my dad saw him yesterday on TV or last night on TV, and he's like, "Holy shit! What happened to his face? It looks like he's like swollen. What the hell happened to him?
He was drunk.
Like, he was drunk on something exactly." And I was like, "Man, look at his eyes. That guy's gone. He's gone, isn't he?" I'm like, "Yeah, Dad, he's faded. He's out of there."
He is. That's why he didn't take the fight. He didn't want to get his ass kicked by somebody in MMA. We're getting very close to De La Hoya and the beer line test when Andrew comes back. I'm feling pretty strong. I can take the punch right now. I'm feeling it.
I don't know
if it's a drunk Oscar. I'm going to say it's going to be his right hand when I set up this bet, but I don't know. Fucked up Oscar seems awfully beatable. I'm just with a spoon popped out of his butt. He has literally been screwed over by everybody. He screws everybody he can over. He takes pictures in tighty whities. Like, he is a mess. How does anybody work with this guy?
I don't think they do. I think it's like he has representatives that just like speak for him, and basically the only time he shows up is when the cameras are on, and that's pretty much it. He's so like far removed from his company. I'm sure at this point to even get a hold of him would be fucking impossible. The only way you would see him is when he's on a TV, because if you're a professional prize fighter and you sign with the Golden Boy, I don't even know if you actually interview or talk to him in person or on the phone or any of that shit. So I think he's gone. It's crumbling, it's imploding.
Here's a Fight Net Radio fun fact. Head of communications for Golden Boy went to grade school with her. All right, fun fact.
Interesting.
Yeah. Still took forever before I was able to get credentials.
Motherfuckers.
I had to build the website we currently have and actually get real legit. I digress. Let's talk about Jaime Munguia taking out Demetrius Ballard in 3 rounds so that we could get the fuck out of TJ. I mean, he said all the right things. I'm so happy to be here in Tijuana and be home, and I'm all the right things. What time do we leave?
Yeah, exactly. It's like, what time will the car be ready outside?
Wait, and here's why it's funny. Jaime Munguia is not known for like taking people out this particularly quick.
Yeah.
However, on the dog track for one glorious evening, a Demetrius Ballard fight in San Diego is a 12-round fight. I'm saying it right now. He doesn't take it seriously. He's going all night, and then he's going across the street to Lake Girls for the after party. This is the first time, like, he went in and took care of business quickly, like really quickly, like from the jump, it was hyper aggressive. And I am just safely saying, being half naked in front of a place that doesn't have metal detectors in a town that is predominantly run by drug cartels, I think I'd fight as quick as I humanly could and get out of there.
That's reasonable. I mean, it could be that, he had a bad training camp and he looked like shit at the weigh-ins and he probably wasn't in the right shape to go 12 rounds. It could be that, or he was terrified. He was terrified. I mean, that's it's one of those two. I'm
not sure which one you want to. I like either selection in this particular case. All right, so I've gone back and I've watched all 3 glorious rounds of this. I learned nothing. We all knew that Demetrius Ballard was a nobody, and he performed like a nobody. Did we learn anything from Jaime Munguia?
Well, let me see. he didn't look great at the weigh-in. He looked soft. If you've seen his, his physique in previous fights, he looked solid, and he made the 160 weight limit no problem. Last night or Friday when the weigh-in was, I don't know, I don't remember him weighing more than once, stepping on the scale more than once. I think he hit it right on the first time, but he looked gaunt, like he looked bad. He looked soft first and foremost. So either something happened during training camp, he got sick, or he had some other distractions that he wasn't really was concentrating, on his physique or his conditioning. And once the fight, the weigh-in approached, he was like, "Shit, I better sweat off this fucking extra few pounds," and he ended up sweating them off and made the weight fine. But you can tell, like, physically, he didn't look as tight as he normally does. So that kind of struck me as strange, and I was like, okay, well, he's coming into this fight against this dude Ballard, who's undefeated. I mean, fighting really no names either, but it seemed as though he did have a little bit of urgency. After that first round, we're like, okay, he's going to probably kind of try and take Ballard out a little bit early. He doesn't want to go the full 12 rounds. But yeah, if we learned anything, is that, when he wants to take you out early and you're a nobody, you're a no name, he can do it, which leads you to believe why he's gone 12 rounds with anybody else.
That's the only question I had in my head, and I'm back to my original assessment of, I want to go back to eating street food and hanging out with my family and not being half naked in front of a room where people are way too drunk at a dog track. Just saying it out loud for the room. I know we're all thinking it, because you guys really can't appreciate how much of a dump that place was. It's a dump, and
it is a real dump.
I've been there many a time. Which takes us to the main event of the evening for you international fans. We have waited, the hype.
Shit. So many years
in the making. Articles written, it's late, but it's happening. This is the fight of the fights to decide which one is who will reign supreme. And it ends in 6 rounds.
I believe Joe Tessitore said, better late than never. I don't
better
know
late
that.
than never was the comment. Let's be perfectly honest about this. I'm not exactly sure why Amir Khan was in this fight to begin with. Did he train? Let's start with the simple one. Did Amir Khan train for this fight or just hype it?
Train physically, yes.
There's the shot.
Oh man, ouch. And oddly, this is the one for the one punch that he took very well. Actually, this is the one, like, right hand that he totally ate and continued. It was the other, like, weird jabs on his temple that kind of, like, made him do the chicken dance. But I mean, looking at him physically, he looked like he did train, but that's kind of it. Like, I don't know, how do you train your fucking head to take a shot? How do you train your chin to be able to take a shot? I don't think you can at this point. And when those things are gone and your reflexes are gone and your speed is gone and whatever power you had left is gone, you really need to question why the hell he's in the ring. So, I mean, did he train? Yeah, trained physically. He looked great. There's guys that look great going into the fight, and then just you see them, their reflexes, and they're just not there. And unfortunately, we saw this with Khan. So, yeah, I mean, did he train? Yes. Did he take the fight seriously? Yes. But I mean, at this point, he's done.
By the way, we were talking about this at dinner on Tuesday about me fighting again. Oh, I'll look great. I will look great.
Yes, you look. I will look on the scale.
Ungodly,
you look magnificent.
I will look like a monster at welterweight. Yes. However, if a 25-year-old cracks me on the side of the head like that, I got taken out by a cabinet the other day, like substantially, to the point where my hands are kind of shaking still from the concussion. That looks a lot harder.
That's a nice shot, though.
God bless Amir Khan. This was also their highest payday for either one of the fighters. Yay.
Really? Jeez. Yeah. And did you see that arena? God damn, those were packed. Shit. I still didn't expect. Like,
they
I did not know.
I mean, if you really look at the news stories, they, up until the fight, they both just kept cranking out stories and quotes.
Yeah.
They sold it.
Sure did.
I'm sure they did well. I'm sure they did well for DAZN. I'm sure they probably did local pay-per-view.
Dude, it was ESPN Plus. Like, I don't know why it was ESPN Plus. Like, I thought it would be a DAZN, but no, it ended up being ESPN Plus, which is kind of cool because I thought I had to pull it up on, shout out to VIP.
No, I was able to go back and watch it. That was really
Perfect,
great.
right? I thought I was gonna pull it up on VIP box, and I was like, wait a second, this is on ESPN Plus. What the hell? All right, cool. So sure enough, and then mind you, I was watching also Linares get fucking destroyed in Russia. So I was
Yeah.
watching that, and then this fight started. I was like, oh shit, yeah. I mean, we already saw what happened with Linares, so I switched it over. They had a stacked card too. There was a lot of fights. I mean, the fights weren't fantastic, but there was a lot of fights leading up to this. So I was like, all right, well, it took a minute to get to the main event, but god damn it, Con. Like call it a career, man. Shit. Like it's anything hurts him, like a jab. Like earlier, one of the punches that stunned him seemed to be some sort of like jab that cut him sort of in the forehead, and then he started doing the dance. I'm like, oh my gosh, already it's like barely the first round. Damn it. Yeah, it's I mean, we can see here from the pictures, we know who won already by this point, but man, it's
Well,
just
here's the
Brooke.
downside to it. Now we've got Kell Brooks in his one eye, who now believes that he's a fighter again. No, you're a guy. Two quotes that came out of this that I will share with everybody that are my favorite part. Amir Khan thinking, I'll think about retirement. I don't know if I'm quite there yet. What do you mean, dude? It was Kell Brooks.
Yeah, watch this fight, bro, and then you decide.
You made it. You know what? Take Deontay Wilder's advice. Go do some ayahuasca and watch the fight again.
Yes.
You and Deontay should go on a vision quest to go take ayahuasca to see if you should continue your careers. You both got your asses so handed to you in your last fight. I completely get it. Go see the great people. Go have your little ayahuasca-y moment.
Yes.
But dude, you got worked. It was sad. Even Andrew felt bad during the fight. Like I was looking at his comments. All he kept saying, sad, just sad. That was his entire commentary during the whole sad. He just looks sad.
And he was saved by the ref, mind you. When the referee stepped in, he was still on his feet. He had, had his dignity still. He was up against the ropes, but he didn't get knocked the fuck out, because that's one of the quotes that from Brooke earlier in the week, talking about how he would love a highlight reel KO, kind of like the way Canelo knocked
body on his record.
Yeah, one of those kind of things. So I'm like, oh gosh, if Brooke comes in, in shape and determined, he's gonna get himself that KO. But thankfully that didn't happen, and the referee mercifully stepped in and stopped the fight. And Khan, although he was still he was up against the ropes, but he was on his feet. So he kept his dignity, kept his pride. He took the ass whooping like a man. But man, you don't want to see him laid out again. Like that should be it, bro.
Well, considering that my video has now gone out for some remarkable
reason.
It
went out earlier. You like paused for a second. I was like, what the hell was happening? And then
it's Windows 11. So for all of you missing wonderful looks at me throughout the whole thing, sorry. Go to boxingtonight.io. Miguel's sporting the cotton. Go check us out. We will all be back next week with more Fight Night Radio, if it'll let me stop. And wow, it's just locked up. This is it's not gonna lose the recording. I'm not worried about that.
As long as it doesn't lose the recording,
I'm gonna kill this. I will talk to you later on. I'm gonna kill the whole thing so I can get the video and get it out.
Okay, cool.
Talk to you.
Peace.
Bye.